Hello folks, and welcome back to Shogun Total War. I'm Kanastep, and this is going to be part 14 of my Sengoku Jedi campaign, where I'm playing as Clan Oda. And if I remember correctly, last episode was a bit of a little disaster, wasn't it? I believe that Takeda and the rebels here in Nagato were just kicking my butt left and right, and yeah, it was bad. I'm pretty sure the daimyo of the Takeda clan has gained a command rank because of me, because he's won so many battles against me. And let's see, yeah, I think I may have lost a good general over here. I can't remember if that happened in the last episode or it happened before that, but yeah, I've lost. I used to have a 3-star general in this area, and now I'm just down to my daimyo, and then this 1-star general here, who is Hosokawa Sadakatsu. So hopefully he can be my new up-and-coming general. And it's not all bad news. I have enough reinforcements that I was able to bring up from the rest of my provinces, and because of this port here in Ikea, I could bring this little stack straight here, and I believe what I'm looking at is, yeah, I'm thinking I can just simply split this stack up, spend half of it to attack Seoul along with this little group here, along with reinforcements. Oh, I got some Naginata as well, nice. Yeah, that's going to be really nice. I might just bring the Naginata over to Iwami because I don't want to attack Seoul with Naginata just because I'm going to be attacking in the wintertime, and Naginata don't do well in the wintertime. The cold weather is going to make them fatigue very quickly, especially because they have heavy armor. So that's going to be a factor that plays into that. So I'm just going to send the Naginata out here to help hold Iwami. Now I think that the rebels will be passive. I don't think they will attack me, but I will send some units from Iki over to Iwami just to help hold it there. And then yeah, there's like nothing left here in Seoul. I should be able to roll over this and take it, as long as I do have these Yari Cav. Yeah, as long as I have something that's going to be able to help me catch, you know, this 10-man unit of Yari Cav here, and this daimyo, of course. So yeah, I think I should be able to pull that one off. And other than that, another really exciting thing that happened was that I finally have contacted the Portuguese here in Tosa, and that means if I take a look at my building browser, so all of these provinces, I need a large castle, which in Tosa I do. Thank you, rebels, for building that for me. And that means that I can build these churches, which is really sweet, because what that means is when I have, I believe it's 6 churches overall that's been built, then I can build a cathedral somewhere. I think I need like a citadel to build a cathedral, which is the 3rd tier of castle. And once that's been done, then I'm going to start collecting money at like a tithe from all of my churches. So I believe it's 200 from each church. And it doesn't have to just be 6. I need 6 to, you know, just as a prerequisite to build that cathedral. But once I'm collecting that money from churches through that cathedral, I can just build churches in every single province that I want. Now, it is kind of an expensive investment overall. I need that large castle. I need to build a church. I need to build the cathedral. So it is kind of like a late game kind of investment that it will work towards. But for the mid game, what I can do now, which is actually quite cheap, is that I can start building these Portuguese trading posts, which are amazing because at 500 koku they are quite affordable. They only take 4 seasons to build, so I can just pump them out in a year. And this will allow me to build my arquebusiers, which is really nice. Not great gun units, but they will be providing something. You know, they will provide a little bit of a morale debuff in the enemy, and they will kill some soldiers as well. And the Portuguese trading post, though, provides an additional 200 koku per Portuguese trading post. And the only thing is that the port, the regular port, is a prerequisite, which, you know, is not nothing. Ports themselves cost 750 koku, and you need to have a castle to build a port. So that right there is a 950 koku investment, plus another 500 for the Portuguese trading post. It's not nothing, but what I'm saying is that in all these provinces that already have ports, which isn't an overwhelming amount. I haven't been able to really go all out on ports like I usually like to, but I have a decent amount. So in all these provinces with ports, I can just go straight for that 500 koku Portuguese trading post and really double my income, my trading income from all of these provinces. And that's just going to balloon. That's going to be a lot of money. And with that money that I'll be getting from these Portuguese trading posts, then I can, build more regular ports, then more Portuguese trading posts, and I can fit in the whole church thing as well. And I do want to get started on building the churches right away, because that aforementioned cathedral that I was talking about, well, that's a prerequisite for training musketeers, which is the improved version of the arquebusiers. So you don't actually have to build an upgraded version of the Portuguese trading post or anything like that. No. You just have to get a cathedral, and then you can have a really good gun unit. I think their range is almost as long as archers, if not as long as an archer. Yeah, good range, good accuracy. They scare the crap out of the enemy. It's just a really cool unit to use. Until then, I'll have to get by on the arquebusiers, but hopefully that will do. So I'm going to go right in and start building a Portuguese trading post here in Owari. And that's going to be important because Hojo in the north here is looking like they are getting very close to wrapping things up. We are still allied with them, but these armies that are holding Owari, Mino, and Echizen are pretty weak. I do have my heir in Mino, which is nice. But other than that, I pretty much have a 7-to-7 ratio of archers and Yari Samurai and a lot of Yari Ashigaru. And Yari Samurai and Mino, but I believe I still have Ashigaru and Owari, and I believe I still have Ashigaru and Echizen. And that's a lot of peasants holding the line there. So having the guns will help even that out a little bit. Now, that's not to say arquebusiers are peasants. They are, the guns are being used by peasants, and so they, very low morale, very low fighting stats, and all of that stuff. But what this means is, if you remember, Owari provides a honor bonus for any Ashigaru that are trained here, and that includes arquebusiers, and that includes musketeers. So not just Ashigaru spearmen. If I train the gun units here in Owari, they're going to have a +1 honor bonus. So that's going to boost up their morale a little bit, it's going to boost up their combat stats a little bit, make them more effective, and that's going to give me a really good bonus to my defensive buffer provinces here in Owari, Mino, and Echizen. And on top of that, I can do the same thing here in Tosa. Tosa also provides an honor bonus for any Ashigaru that are trained here, which is cool. So I'm definitely going to be building a Portuguese trading post here. And it's a long title. I'm going to have to keep saying that over and over again. Do I just call that the PTP? I'm probably not going to start calling it that, but yeah. It's a long word to keep saying over and over and over again. But yeah, I'm probably, and this is going to be what I have to decide is, I kind of want to just spend all of my money this year on Portuguese trading posts. A part of me wants to believe that I have enough soldiers for now, and I should be able to wrap up Nagato and Suo with what I have here. And I'm not at war with Yusugi, who has taken over Kyushu from their former allies, the Shimazu clan. So I'm not at war with them, so I'm not, they shouldn't feel like they have to attack me. I believe they are at war with no, they're not at war with Imagawa. So Imagawa's still holding on to Shikugo, so like Yusugi could attack them if they wanted to instead of attacking me. So I think that maybe they won't attack me here, EO. I feel like I have better soldiers than them. Oh, this reminds me. So what I was gonna do, yes, this is the moment of truth, isn't it? So, yeah, I still have a few warrior monks hanging around, and technically, honestly, converting to Christianity and still having warrior monks on your armies, as long as you have a Buddhist temple that's already been built before you convert to Christianity, which, playing as the Yoda, I took over, Issa on the first turn, and I was given a Buddhist temple that I burned down apparently, but yeah, I was given that on like the second turn. So I've had warrior monks from turn 3 or turn 2 or something, and so in that case it's totally legit to train warrior monks while being Christian, but I'm going to roleplay this a little bit, and I'm not going to do that, which is totally fine with me because the Oda army composition that I have is already pretty badass, and it doesn't have any room for warrior monks. It's going to be mostly naginata and guns, and so it's going to be kind of like a pike and shot, type of formation from, like late medieval warfare, which is kind of cool. That's how armies fought in Europe and Japan when they had guns. So it's going to be kind of like that. And yeah, I mean, warrior monks obviously are very good. They're probably the best unit in the game. If you want to field armies that have warrior monks and guns in them, that's up to you, of course. There's nothing against doing it. I just feel a little dirty doing it. I think it's weird having warrior monks that are fanatics to the Iko-Iki Zen Buddhism religion fighting for a daimyo that has turned Christian. To me, that just seems wrong. And in game, once you convert to Christianity, you can't build any more Buddhist temples. It's just that if you already have one, you're not going to get punished for it. So in my case, I'm going to set my own restrictions and just say, I'm not going to use that. So do I still have one here? Yes. So I still have one here in Yamashiro. And I'm just going to burn it to the ground and get some money from that. Got 375 koku, not bad. So I'll burn that down. And then I'll disband all of my warrior monk units that I still have left, which is a little dicey, considering that I'm still 4 turns away from being able to produce arquebusiers, but I don't, especially since they have, Yusuke has a couple units of Nodachi swordsmen. So, yeah, it's a little dicey, but I think that I'll be okay. So I'm going to disband these guys. It's kind of puts them in the, makes it seem like they're going to commit harikari, which I don't want them to do that, but I just want to disband them. Yeah, the symbol makes it look like they're stabbing themselves in the stomach, which I'm going to try to not think about that. It's very unpleasant. And, alright, is there any warrior monks here? Or here? Yep, just one little unit of 6 men here. And I think that's it. I think that's all of the warrior monks that I have. And yeah, because the way that this works is that once you accept the deal, the offer from the Portuguese, you don't immediately switch over to Christianity. If I look at so here in my alliance tab, it would say right here, right next to my Oda Man, it would have a cross for the Christian faith. And that's going to happen, I believe, next turn, because it happens the first turn that you start building something from the Portuguese. It doesn't have to be a church. I believe this also works with the PTPs, the Portuguese Trading Post. So like first turn of building one of these buildings basically like symbolizes that you've accepted that deal, and then you've turned over to Christianity, which means that the population loyalty or population happiness is going to take a hit starting next turn, because that's going to be the first turn of me building some of these foreign buildings. So I believe I should be okay. I have a shinobi in almost every single province except for Iyo. And Iyo should be fine because I have enough soldiers here to, keep them happy. So, fingers crossed. What's a little dicey about this is that because I don't have ports in every single province, if I have to rush across my domain and kind of put out fires somewhere, somewhere where I don't, like if I have to go to Awaji or like Mimasaka or something, like, I don't have ports everywhere. So it's going to be a little tricky if I don't have the troops in the right places, but I do have shinobi like everywhere and I can build another one like right now. Only question is, do I keep this guy here in Tajima or did I move him over to Iyo? I think I want to move him over to Iyo just to make sure this is fine here. Because that's the only province that doesn't have a shinobi in it right now. In fact, I can kind of like take a silver lining out of last episode and say, yeah, it was a disaster, but at least I didn't take 2 provinces because, then I would need extra shinobi. Whatever, it was still a disaster, but yeah, this is working out fine. This is working out perfectly. If if it works out fine, this might be like the easiest transition into Christianity that I've ever had before. Knock on wood. So yeah, I think that could go okay. Now I just have to decide if I want to train any soldiers this turn or this year, or if I just want to spend all of my money on churches and PTPs. Okay, so I couldn't help myself. I decided to just spend, well, I didn't even count, so I don't even know if I can afford everything I just bought, but I bought, so I'm going to buy a Portuguese trading post in pretty much every province that's on this half of my domain that has a port. So like Ki, Isa, Kawachi, Owari, Masaka. That's going to be a bit of money right there. I started building a church here in Yamashiro, and then I started building a large castle here in Aki, so then I can eventually build another church there. So yeah, it's looking like it's going to be all economic for me right now. Soldier-wise, I think I'm okay. I just don't think I'm going to be fighting a lot of battles, like big battles yet. I think Hojo is still kind of, you know, taking care of stuff, and we are still allies. Ooh, look at this. The rebel general here in Kaga is now a 5-star general, just because he's been kicking so much butt, but looks like he has very little men left. And yeah, I wonder how much longer he's going to be able to hold out. Probably not very long, but I'm rooting for you, man. And yeah, looks like so I am going to be attacking Seoul here with my 1-star general, Hosokawa Satakatsu. Hopefully he can get the job done, and I'll be waiting on Nagato. I'll take that next turn, I'm guessing. So yeah, let's see if I can actually afford all the buildings I put in, because I have no idea, I didn't count. And so let's see, taxes, let's put those on very low, because yeah, I'm going to be taking a large population loyalty hit during this end turn here. So, well, let me just check out my heir, see how Oda Nobunaga is doing. He's 9 years old, so still a little ways before he's of age, but gotta make sure I keep an eye on him, because I really do not want him to end up in the wrong unit. Imagine if he ended up in a gun unit. Oh god, that'd be so awful. That would suck so much. Alright, moving on. And yeah, I had just enough money, so I'm left with 838 koku, and honestly, that's kind of the perfect amount, because if I need to train like an emergency troop somewhere, great, awesome, I can train a couple units, so that's perfect. And yes, so I finished building a port here in Awami, that's nice. How are we doing? They're attacking Kaga for the millionth time, and alright, looking at 758 versus 115, let's get it done this time. And yeah, it's going to be winter time, and this is, yeah, attack in the fine day, that's fine. And this is a big map. I've concluded that this is identical to the Bichu map, which might not mean anything to you, but to me, it's a map that I fought on quite a lot. I think it is, and this is surprising, because I thought that each of the maps for every single province were unique. But this looks exactly the same as the Bichu map. Now, yes, it is humongous, and this might be one of those maps that could be potentially, I don't know, kind of fun on multiplayer, just because imagine like it's big enough for like 3 armies to be fighting against each other, but when you have just a one-on-one army, it typically kind of just, you know, they're going to be there, obviously. The enemy is just going to be there in the forest, on the hill, in the back of the map. And to get on even ground, obviously you don't want to go just straight at them. That's awful. That's a really bad idea, because they're going to have the cover of the forest and the hill advantage. So the way to do it is to go all the way around, but that's also not really ideal, because the men will be tired. I mean, exceedingly tired, especially in the wintertime. So yeah, that's a lot of times a reason why losses happen on this map is just because you might be overconfident, as in like I was last episode, and yeah, you think like, yeah, I can beat them because my army is better than theirs, but you're not really taking into account how tired your men are, because something that I feel like in a lot of these maps, it's hard to like really gauge how much bigger some of them are than others, and yeah, this one just looks huge. So yeah, I'm going to get my guys grouped up, and I'll probably just cut to when I'm on that side of the map. Well, actually, if they just want to meet me out in the open right here, I'm fine with that. So let's see if that's actually how it's going to shake down, or if I'm going to have to chase them around a little bit. Now, I've had to come all the way around the hill as I expected that I'd have to, and looks like I will be fighting in the forest as per usual. Now, I'm liking my army for the most part. My flanks are the strongest, where each of my left and right flanks are supported by a unit of Yari Samurai, whereas the rest of them are going to be Ashigaru and archers. Center's a little weak. Center's just 2 units of Ashigaru protecting 1 unit of archers, and then my general's going to be in the back, another archer unit. And then I have my Yari Cav playing defensively. As usual, when I have a disadvantage with cavalry, that means my cavalry will be used defensively and not offensively. And in this case, I'd say the cavalry engagement's probably still in their favor, although all they have is their daimyo and then a 10-man unit of Yari Cav. Yeah, I'd say that's still in their favor, but still having my Yari Cav is going to be a useful tool if I do have to kind of run them down and chase them down like I did in the last battle. Now my men are quite tired, but as it happens, I am about already halfway done with my timer on this battle, because that's just how long it takes to get from one end of the map into the other end in this province. So yeah, that's one of those things, you know, that's one of those reasons why honestly, it's one of those reasons why I like fighting with a battle timer, is because without the battle timer, you can just kind of sit and wait forever and wait until your guys are well rested, and that means that fatigue plays less of a factor, in my opinion at least. I haven't spent a lot of time playing with the battle timer off, so maybe, I don't know. The thing is that the reinforcement system in this game is so finicky that I find that playing against those multiple waves it's a little annoying, because with the AI, it seems like their reinforcements come in immediately, whereas my reinforcements, I've waited like a long time, and I feel like, you know, mine don't come in. So it's one of those reasons why I don't have no problem going into a battle where I have to face multiple waves of the enemy. Like, I feel like I can beat that depending on my composition and depending on their composition. But having battles where I have to depend on reinforcements coming in, well, that's annoying, especially if they, you know, don't come in. So I think overall, that's, you know, there's a few reasons there why I don't like playing with the battle timer off. Now I feel like I'm getting very close to having them completely cornered off here. It's taken some time and my troops are very tired, but we have them in what appears to be a corner here, and yeah, they might be forced to come down and fight us here. And then I have my center moving up to support, and yeah, my right flank is trying to close in and want to make sure don't want them to escape there. They might be going for my general actually, so I think it's time for me to bring my Yari Cav. Yeah, they're going straight for my general, which I made a mistake of kind of like letting there we go. If I turn my Ashigaru around to fight there, and Yari Samurai as well, Yari Ashigaru, and if I attack there, and I can bring down these Ashigaru from the top flank to support there. And how are we doing up here? Yari Samurai are fighting. My Yari Samurai, Yari Ashigaru, I can send these guys in on the flank here, and I can have my Yari Ashigaru fight. Well, no, they don't have to attack. They can just hang out there. And hopefully that'll do. Now, how are we doing down here? My men are going to be very tired, but we do outnumber them. We have lots of spears. Their daimyo's losing badly. It looks like it's going well for me. My Yari Cav are somehow losing to their 10-man unit, or it's down to 5-man, but somehow they're you know, having a really hard time. I know that Takeda cavalry is very strong, but come on, give me a break here. Now, let's see, surrounding, this is what happens when you got Ashigaru fighting Yari Samurai. Also, my guys are very tired, but man, oh man, these guys are hanging on. There's 14 archers left, and how are we doing down here? Down to 3 Yari Cav, 2 Yari Cav of the enemy still fighting, and it's just the daimyo left. It's just him, just one more, so I can bring up my general to help support with this battle. And yeah, just one more left. Just gotta make sure that one of these spearmen, I can bring in my Yari Cav as well. They can help support this battle. And yeah, these guys, 21, okay, they're running away, and these archers are running away as well. That's fine. That's all fine. And yeah, I took some damage for sure. I mean, this little army, but yeah, we should be able to surround and murder the Takeda Daimyo right here and right now. And this here is what legends are made of. One man versus literally hundreds, poking and stabbing at him, and now he's finally down. For a moment there I was thinking, man, if he can last 5 more minutes, then I'm gonna lose this battle. But yeah, they put up a fight for sure. He never ran. He fought till the bitter end, and I actually lost more men than I killed in this battle, but that's how it goes sometimes, you know? Fighting with Ashigaru can be a little tricky, so I'm just glad to get it over with. So now that I've taken Seoul, I should be able to turn my sights to Nagato, and yes, I should be able to take Nagato possibly this turn. Now I'm looking at 450 koku that's been pillaged. That's very nice. Got a general promoted, so now Hosokawa Sadakatsu is now a 2-star general. Very nice. That's kind of...
When the day's done, I take a tree for my lodge on my weary way.
And yes, Lord Takeda has been killed, and the faction has been eliminated. So how are we looking here for the siege? Only 13 men left. It's going to last for 2 seasons, which means 3 turns. That means I should probably attack. It's only 10 archers and 3 spearmen, so yeah. I can just attack this one, and I can auto-resolve this battle, and then I can attack Nagato next turn. That's fine. And yeah, so I have a little bit of money left. That's a nice thing about, you know, pillaging Seoul, was that I have a little buffer. And oh yeah, how's my public order going? Okay, so yeah, there is some issues. It's not complete. I was going to say it's looking really good, but you know, Tosa has some issues. How are we looking at Tosa? 80% population loyalty. That's not that bad actually. And Awa is at 102%, so it's still over. It's you know, over 100%. So you're only in danger when it's beneath 100%. And for Tosa, 80% means that what I could do, how's it EO looking? So I can send over, how's Tajima looking? Tajima's at 170, so I can send over a shinobi from, if I understand correctly, and I don't know if this is completely, I don't know if this is accurate, but I think, from what I understand, that each shinobi increases the percentage by 10%, and then each full 60-man unit also increases the percentage by 10%. I don't know if that's completely accurate, but that's my understanding. So by bringing 1 shinobi into Tosa, this should be at 90%, and then if EO is at 345%, so they're fine. So if I bring in this shinobi from EO, this should be at 100%. But I'm not going to just bank on that. So I did bring over some Ashigaru from the north last turn, and I'm really glad I did this. I kind of did this just randomly, and it ends up being a really good place for it, because now these 3 units of Ashigaru can come over here, and if the math is right, now it should be like 130%. So we'll see about that. It'd really suck if I have to go to Tosa to fight more rebels. That would suck. And then Awa, just to like make sure I'm fine, I can also bring over this shinobi from Sanuki. Let's see, 177 and 152. So yeah, Sanuki is the good choice of bringing it over. Oh, look, the Portuguese have already moved off. Now they go to Baizen. Oh, okay. Kind of thought that they went straight from Tosa to Owari, but no, they make a couple stops along the way. That's good to know. Alright, so have a little bit of money to spend, but what do I want to spend it on? Soldiers, I'm guessing, is going to be the answer. Yes, because I can train. Yeah, that is something I can do, is I can start training. Oh, these must have been holdovers from the, I must have not been able to train all of my soldiers from 2 turns ago, so these queues were still in there. I was wondering why I didn't have any soldiers trained in these regions, but now that makes sense, because anytime these actions happen during the end turn, it always happens left to right. So when you run out of money, it's going to be the provinces on the rightmost side of your domain that are going to not produce the units that you've put the queue in, or the buildings that you tried to build. And so yeah, I wasn't even really paying attention. These are units that I luckily had the money for this turn, so that's nice. Got a couple extra units of Yari Cav and some peasants. That's all good. And yeah, do I want to train soldiers or do I want to save money? Yeah, so I think I'm going to be keeping my goals for this turn very modest. And I'm simply just going to train up another unit of Naginata because, as I said before, that's going to be one of my cornerstone units of my Oda composition, and I need more of them. So, yeah, I'm going to just focus on building up Naginata for now because I have plenty of archers, I have plenty of spearmen, I have a decent amount of Yari Cav. I'll be producing guns starting next year, so Naginata is the troop that I can work on for now. And I can actually, you know, build like 3 more units of it with the money that I have left. So again, yeah, just keeping it very modest. I spent a lot of money on economic upgrades, so that's very nice. And going forward, I can really start working on, you know, once the money really starts pouring in, I can start working on building up more armories so I can build more Naginatas. And, you know, of course, eventually better guns as well. So yeah, it's getting to the point where I'm going to start to look at having that, you know, really nice Oda composition. And yeah, I might, once I actually do take Nagato, I might actually hang tight with this Nagato Io border here, bordering Kyushu, and I might actually hang tight and work on my economy for a little bit just to build up and get going. Now that is, it's a little dicey. I got a little PTSD from my last campaign where I was playing as Mori, and it was like super early in the campaign where Yusugi was sending a geisha at me, and I don't want that to happen again. That kind of sucked. It had forced me to really blitz to like the extent of my capabilities. Like I just had to blitz and blitz and blitz. And blitzing obviously is the way. It's the way to win this game. It really is. When you have a map that's like really compact and small like this, and when the goal is to take over all of Japan, there's no real long-lasting diplomacy, right? You have to attack to win, and you have to conquer to win. And that late game, you know, geisha can really force you to have to attack, right? But when it happens in the mid game, it's really frustrating because if you want to build up your troops and your armies to have a really nice army, you can kind of get forced in a situation where you can't anymore because you have to attack with whatever you have left just to make sure that geisha doesn't kill off your entire family. So I got a little PTSD from that for sure. That was like a really early occasion. I've never seen that happen before. But in this case, I do have a ninja house here that I, you know, took over from the Takeda. So I can start building ninja right away. Whereas with my Mori playthrough in my last campaign, I had nothing. I didn't have a ninja house. I had to start building. I had to build a ninja house, and yeah, it was just oh man, that was touch and go for sure. That was a tense campaign, and in this case, I would really like to sit tight here and build up these really awesome armies. And honestly, I kind of like giving the AI a little bit of a chance to build up their armies as well. I'm pretty confident in my abilities in this game, so I don't feel like I have to really blitz to make sure that I win. Now again, that's going against everything that I should have learned in that Mori campaign. But I do, honestly, I like to kind of create an end game where it's actually kind of a challenge, you know? I like to, you know, fight against big armies, and that's the fun of this game to me. You know, is the spectacle of seeing the armies, you know, arrayed next to each other and across from the battlefield against each other. So, whereas the smart thing to do, and you know what I did do when I did win the Oda campaign with my practice run, was just to, you know, go and make sure that I take Kyushu, and then quickly focus on the north as soon as possible. In this case, if there actually ends up being a situation where I have to defend the north while I'm still attacking Kyushu, well, hopefully I can win those battles. Because, I mean, I will be producing guns very soon, so I think I like my chances, but yeah, I kind of want to just build tall, you know, play tall for now, instead of play wide. And, yeah, see how that goes. So, for now, I'm just going to burn through a couple turns, fingers crossed that this is going to be okay. Alright, so I got that large castle that's finished being built in Mimasaka, so now I can start building a church there. And yeah, Yasugi's still moving around. Imagawa still has territory. Oh yeah, and Hojo has taken Kaga. Finally, they've finally taken Kaga. There still appears to be a small garrison in Kaga, but yeah, okay, so speaking of garrison, this is going to be a castle assault. My 638 men versus their 12. I'm just going to automatically resolve this. And I lost 3 men. And how are we looking? Everything's green. Everything's green. Oh my god. This is awesome. This is the easiest transition to... Does it say I'm already Christian? Yeah, it does. So it's just first turn, you know. First turn you start building a Portuguese trading post and, you know, you're just immediately Christian. So, cool stuff. Alright, so yeah, I think it's time to get rid of these rebels here in Nagato. Probably not going to be the easiest task, considering... They've already beaten me. I mean, there's like nothing here, but honestly, I underestimate these armor upgrades. You know, silver armor upgrades is not nothing, and then, you know, the rest of them have bronze armor upgrades, which is not nothing, and, you know, then there's a 2-star general, which is not nothing. So, but honestly, you know, I just have just a wave of soldiers coming at them. You know, pretty solid 4-star daimyo, so I should be able to conquer Nagato in this turn. Alright, now it's going to be time to put the finishing touches on Southern Honshu. Yeah, it's going to be attacking the rebels here in Nagato. And I keep looking at this army and thinking, man, it's going to be tough. I mean, you know, 5 units of archers, most of which have armor upgrades. Yeah, that's not nothing. And, you know, I have a lot of Ashigaru. You know, I have a beaten up unit of Yarikav that somehow lost 30 men to a 10-man unit of Takeda Yarikav. I mean, those must have been some boss units, man. They killed 30 of my guys, Jesus. But yeah, anyway, that's what I have. So I got 30-man Yarikav unit that can, you know, that's the thing. I have to be careful. You know, they can help pressure. They can use their speed to get in there and kind of pressure these archer units. But it's not going to be, you know, necessarily easy because these archer units might beat them. You know, they might actually do well against this weakened unit of Yarikav. So in any case, let's get in there and see what I can do. Actually, what's down here? Okay, another unit. They're building up. Man, that's not nothing either. Yari Samurai, you know, no Dachi Swordsman. I don't have a ton here in EO. So maybe I need to start looking at bolstering. Yeah, I might have to start bolstering my defenses in EO. Sure wouldn't want to lose my 4-star general, Naitao Tokinao. Yeah, he's done well for me, so... Don't want Yasugi to attack me. No, no, no. But yeah, I'm going to be training another unit of Naginata here in Aki, and... Yeah, let's get into this and finish off this battle. Alright, so now I have that church in Yamashiro. That's nice. So that's 1 church. That's 1, and I believe that means I need 5 more. I wonder if Yasugi and Imagawa are at war with each other yet. Oh, and Hojo, looks like Hojo's taken Noto off of Yasugi. Alright, what are we looking at? 878.9 versus 278. I should be able to do this one. And what are we looking at? Summer, I believe, so light winds, that's fine. And, yeah, so what does Nagata look like? Okay, I remember what Nagata looks like. Looks like this. So yeah, a lot of times the enemy is just, you know, there in that forest, and I just go here and I go around them. I think, yeah, we already fought here. We fought here last episode, so you guys remember. You guys know what I'm talking about. Alright, now that I'm getting my troops lined up here, and I'm seeing that there are some here in this forest, so I'm trying to pull off a sneaky little flank attack on me. And they do have soldiers here straight back. So yeah, it's trying to be a little sneaky for sure. So I'm going to have to take this one smartly, and want to take the right side first and then sweep across into the center. like the last battle, I have my center a little bit weak here. It is supported by a unit of Naginata, which is nice. Other than that, though, my flanks are gonna be stronger again. I think it works well that way when you outnumber the enemy, and in general you have a pretty decent army. That way you can envelop them and try to keep them from running away from you, kind of like what they tried to do in the last battle. And yeah, of course, the weakness to having a weak center is that a strong enemy could punch right through it and scatter your army, but in this case, I don't think that they have anything that's going to provide much punching power. It's simply that their archers are, really good. They have good armor, so they're going to win any skirmish engagement, and I'm going to have to get in close combat with them, which isn't great, just because, archers in this game, they're samurai, and they're going to fight pretty well in hand-to-hand combat. So it's going to be, one of those things where I have to use my numbers. And try to surround the enemy and try to take what they give me. And in this case, they're giving me a lot, I think, just because they've split their armory up, and that allows me to potentially take what is just, right here in front of me, these units that are in this forest, before sweeping across and taking whatever's left here in the back. Now I have begun the skirmish here in this forest, and looks like I'm doing okay against these archers right now. And oh, the general's coming out, so the general's pretty isolated. 24-man unit of Yari Samurai. Probably gonna fight my Ashigaru to the death, but yeah, if we can take care of the general right here, that's gonna be very good for me. And yeah, I'm gonna let my right flank and my center deal with this. I'll keep my left flank kind of holding back, just to kind of watch the enemy here and see if they want to move at all. And if not, then what I can do is switch my center and bring them to, surround these guys right here. And then as far as my right flank, I can put my infantry in the front and send them forward. And I can keep my daimyo close as well, just to provide his buffs. And Yori Cav are they're just, staying where they might be needed later. And are they going to engage me, or are they just going to keep running away? Let's see if I can try to get around them here. And if not, let's see if I can keep pushing with my right flank as well. Alright, looks like I was able to wrap around and trap these archers, and yeah, looks like I'm slowly cutting down the general as well. Do I want to send my daimyo in? I can send my daimyo in. He can just help clean this up here. And yeah, it looks like the rest of the army in the back seems pretty content to stay behind and let their general die. Alright, so now the general's running away, and he's going to get cut down by my daimyo. And I can send my Ashigaru. Now those archers are running away as well. And that's that. So that's those two flanks cleaned up. And alright, so the general's dead now, and now it's time for me to wrap up the rest of this army. Alright, now they are starting to come towards me, and I have spotted some units in this forest here. So I think I want to take... There's a little hill here, and I can kind of hold, and then I can hold on my left flank, and that means I can push forward. Oh, now they're retreating, and yeah, I wonder if this is going to be another chase. Alright, so I may have split the enemy up here, and what I'm thinking is if I send my Yari Cav across along with my daimyo to chase down these units, because these units look like they're running away, and if I can kind of use my cavalry to round them up and use my left flank to help support there, and then I can just leave this force to my center. And yeah, oops, get my Yari Cav shot by archers. That's not good. And yeah, I want to get my center and my right flank and bring them in here to corral these units. And that should help there. So I'll put my Yari Cav back into close formation, and I can have my right flank help provide support, and daimyo will come in as well. Because yeah, I think that those archers by themselves will probably beat my Yari Cav. But if my infantry and my daimyo comes in there, that should be able to help clear that up. And how are we doing down here? So yeah, Daimyo's in, Yari Cav are in, then get the spears in, and that should do it. Alright, and back up here, just have to keep pushing, just gotta keep pushing, slowly but surely, wrap up these units here. What do we got? 2 archers, 1 unit of Yari, samurai, that's fine, and yeah, down here, looks like they're putting up a fight for sure. So yeah, I just want to make sure that everyone, when I have units surrounded like this, I want to make sure everyone's on engage at will. I don't want them to be holding formation. I want them to be attacking at will, surrounding and, you know, breaking formation to kill as many as possible. Because it's not about holding the formation. It's about, you know, in a situation like that, you want to kill as quickly as possible to eliminate the enemy. And in this case, now that that's done, I can have my... Jesus, my 15 Yari Cav have already lost that many men. But that's done now, and yeah, I was just fighting archers. Man, they're weak. But yeah, in any case, I can bring up my left flank and my daimyo to help bring the end to these rebels. Alright, now it's time to surround the enemy and hack down the remaining... what's left of these rebels here? It looks like these guys are running away, and yeah, let's see, Yari Samurai, they are still fighting, but hopefully they'll break soon. But yeah, the archers are trying to get away, and they're probably not going to get very far. Now it's time just to break this last unit of Yari Samurai, and that is going to be it. Yes, now they are broken, and that is it. Now we can have all of my army just dialed in on running down the enemy here, make sure everyone's on engage at will, and speed up time, and... yeah, that will be the end of the rebels here in Nagato. They put up a decent fight, didn't they? I lost 182 men, killed 251, so that is okay. And yeah, feels good. Feels like feels good getting rid of those, taking care of these 2 provinces, considering what happened in the last episode. And pillaging 625 koku also feels pretty good. That feels like that gives me a little bit of something. Oh yeah, no, duh, come on. My clan now has the largest armies in all Japan. No other clan has as many men as you. I would hope so. I would really hope so.
Now we disappear. Well,
whoa.
What must we think of it?
Huh. Okay, so Lord Yasugi has just died, and that means that... huh, interesting. I wonder, did he have any allies? Okay, let me just look at the... because yeah, this is all rebel territory now. Let's see if he has any allies. No, so this might be a way out for Imagawa, because Imagawa still has this territory here in Shikugo. So if they have the strength, which I don't know if they do, but they might be able to start taking some of these provinces back and taking some of Kyushu. And yeah, I wonder... and if they do that, they might be able to strengthen their holdings here in Honshu as well. So yeah, Noto obviously has been taken. That means that Hojo took Noto and must have killed Yasugi, because the daimyo must have been fighting here. For some reason he was here and he wasn't in Kyushu, which is kind of silly because Noto is just worthless. They could have like just given up Noto and focused on Kyushu, and if they just consolidated all of Kyushu, including kicking Imagawa off of Shikugo, I get it, it's a river province, it's tough, but, you know, at least they would have had a solid power base from which they could have, you know, struck out and tried to make a game of it. But dying over Noto was kind of silly, I must say. And I wonder where, yeah, the heir, Hojo's heir must have done that, because he's nowhere to be seen right now, just the daimyo, 2 stars, very pitiful stuff. But yeah, so... that's this has been a pretty feel-good episode, I must say. Having the power shift to my south is a little interesting because now, you know, like I said, I want to play tall right now. I want to just kind of hang out and not just attack all the time. The fact that there's a bunch of rebels means that I think I'm just going to let Imagawa do what they want to do. If Imagawa wants to take control of Kyushu, fine. In fact, that could actually work in my favor, because if they strengthen themselves through Kyushu, that can potentially provide the resources that they need to make a bigger fight here in Mikawa and, Honshu. Because I don't think Hojo's really going to strike at me until everything's cleaned up here in the north. And right now, this is it. It's just Mikawa. So I'm going to let Imagawa do what they want to do here in the south. And I'm going to spend some time focusing. It's going to be me time, okay? I need to focus on me, my economy, my armies, and make sure everything's looking good and looking nice. That's all going to have to wait for the next episode. So I hope you'll enjoy this one. Thank you very much for watching. This has been I've been Kanastep, and this has been Shogun Total War. Thank you very much, and goodbye.